What's up everybody, welcome back to the 710 Performance Vlog. As you can see, it's a different type of setting for this video, and the reason for that is I actually saw that there was a need for some videos in this series on how to start your own powder coating company. After reading lots of our comments as well as reading comments on other powder coating YouTube channels, there's a lot of people who are very interested in getting into the powder coating industry or starting their own powder coating company. They just don't really know how to do it. They don't know how to price the pieces. They don't know when they're actually ready to go start doing pieces for people for payment or anything like that. So I wanted to go ahead and put together a set of videos that would be able to kind of help steer you along the path of starting your own powder coating business. Now, some of the things you're going to learn through this series is you're going to learn how to register your business. I do have notes here. You're going to learn how to identify your target market. You're going to learn how to market your business. You're going to learn how social media can help you. We're going to do a video that's going to be a video on resources for powder. We're also going to do a video that's on resources for consumables and prep material, i.e. tape, plugs, different stuff like that, different prep material. We're going to go over in depth on pricing your services. We're also going to do a video on powder coating equipment resources, ovens, booths, powder coating systems themselves, cost affordable ones and the higher priced ones. We're just going to kind of go over it all and give you some resources for that. We're going to talk about a part-time business versus a full-time business. When are you ready to go full-time, or if you just want to stay part-time, how can you stay part-time? We're going to talk about your competition, and those are just to name a few. Now in today's video we want to get started with a couple of things. So first off, I just want to assuming is never good, but we're just going to assume that you have decided that powder coating is something that you want to do and that you want to start your own business powder coat. First off, you've made this decision consciously because either one, you have a small powder coating system and you have actually powder coated parts before and it's something that you're really interested in doing. Two, you worked for a company and did powder coating for them and you have experience and now you want to maybe branch off on your own or start your own thing. Or maybe it just looks very exciting and it's something that you might want to do, but you don't even necessarily have any experience. So there's a couple of different obvious levels here. One, if you don't have any experience, one of the first things that you're going to need to do is you're just going to need to get some sort of powder coating system that you have access to, whether you're renting it, buying it, or maybe a friend has it. And you're going to want to take some stuff that you want powder coated and you're going to want to powder coat it and kind of see how it comes out. Now there's plenty of videos online that we have as well as other channels that will show you the steps and help teach you the steps of powder coating. And that's not exactly what this video is about. If that is the videos that you're looking for, please go ahead and click one of our how to powder coat video playlists and be able to kind of check that out. There's also other channels such as Unknown Coatings and I believe Rimright, who recently changed their name, who also have videos on powder coating as well if you want to learn the actual steps and process. So for sake of this, we're going to figure that either A, you've already got powder coating equipment, even if it's the Eastwood dual voltage or even if it's a Harbor freight gun, we're assuming that you already have powder coating equipment or that you already have experience and you already know what you need to do. You just basically need the equipment. So that's where we're going to start. Now first off, you're going to want to register your business to make sure that it's legal within your state. Now there are not a lot of companies out there when we get to the powder resources. There's not a lot of companies out there that offer discounts for actual businesses. Now they will offer discounts based on how much of a specific color you purchase. The more you purchase, the less it'll be, but they don't actually give you a discount or a wholesale price. I believe there are some, but most of them do not. But for tax purposes and for any other purposes of protecting yourself or your home or your liability, then registering a business in accordance with your local state and city governments is something that you would do. For instance, in Colorado, I just Google search Colorado Secretary of State. Most states you register your business through the Secretary of State. So whatever state you're in, you can go online to Google, you can register Secretary of State for your state. You can even Google how to register a business with Colorado Secretary of State or Missouri Secretary of State, and then they'll go ahead and tell you how. You can, if you want to, hire a lawyer, but more than likely most people will be just registering a trade name or they'll be registering an LLC, which a lot of people can go ahead and do that without a lawyer and without incurring those extra costs. So first, you want to decide, do you just want to have a trade name, or is this something that you're going to want to grow into a bigger business, and maybe you need to have a separate entity like an LLC. If you're just starting up and doing this out of your garage, a trade name is just fine. You can still even use a trade name if you actually want to, like, get a business or get a place, rent a building, and do your business there. You can choose to do that if you want, but it's kind of a little better to have an LLC. For instance, if something happens at that shop and you're just running it under your trade name, then there is a possibility that, maybe a customer comes in and something falls on their foot. Now, there's a possibility they can sue you and maybe take your car or your house. And I know that sounds scary, but that's when registering your business, you want to have something separating you from the liability. So an LLC, a limited liability company, is a perfect way to go on that. So once you decide, just make sure you go to your Secretary of State and get your business registered. Even before you register your business, though, you want to identify your target market, because if you want to powder coat, and even if you have the equipment to powder coat, you still want to recognize and identify a target market. For instance, our target market is the car community within Colorado. There's plenty of different ways that you can access this target market. There's plenty of groups on Facebook. There's plenty of pages on Facebook. There's plenty of different theme pages and pages about that content on Instagram, and TikTok is a growing platform as well, where it will continue to grow and be on there. Once you've identified your target market, that makes it a lot easier to go out and find customers that you can relate to or that may be interested in your business. Now, again, you don't have to just go after the car industry, but if you notice, the automotive industry, we post videos about different builds that we're doing. We are kind of immersed into the car industry, the automotive aftermarket industry, and we've immersed ourselves there because really that's where our target market is. I'm not saying that all of our jobs are coming from there. Of course, we want jobs from different areas or whatnot. We're just saying that we're focusing our marketing ability to one specific target market. Other people will see your jobs, other people will see your work, and they'll come to you. But when you focus on just the one target market, you're not going all over the place. So you want to decide, maybe you're a bird person and you're looking at refinishing bird cages for people. That can be your target market. Join some groups on Facebook that are other bird people, something like that. And that's also kind of getting into how social media will help you grow. But you can't go after jobs and acquire jobs if you don't know who your target market is and who your target customer is that you want to be able to do jobs for. So once you have that identified, then I would say, go register your business, because then you've at least got a target market identified. Now, again, not all of these are going to be in the exact step-by-step order. There is no handbook written on starting a business or a powder coating company, and not everybody's way is going to work, but not everybody's way is also the only way. So biggest things are registering your business to divert liability or to not make you as liable for something happening to somebody. 2 is you need to make sure that you identify your target market and you identify ways to reach your target market. Okay, those are extremely important. You don't have a business if you don't have customers. So now that you've identified your target market and now that you've got your business registered, let's take a step back. So how do you know if you're ready? You understand about registering your business, you understand about identifying your target market, but how do you know if you're ready to actually start powder coating? Well, you look at the work that you've powder coated. You show it to people who are in your target market or who may be part of your target market, essentially family and friends, and get their opinion on it. Maybe you find people who are really tough and will be, they don't sugarcoat anything and they tell you directly how they think or feel. You post it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and you get people's feedback on it. Okay, if it's something that you would put on your vehicle and it's something that looks good, again, there's not a lot of thinking when it comes to, are you ready to take it to the next level? We actually posted pictures, and when we posted pictures, people then just started asking us, what's your cost? What do you charge? So unless you start actually putting some sort of content out there into the world, whether it's through social media or whether it's when you're just talking to people and then showing them the pieces, if you're not putting that content out there, if you're not putting that work out there for people to see and decide if it's something that they want you to do, without doing that, you're not going to be able to get any customers. Again, identifying your target market is going to allow you to know where to put that content. For instance, posting it in car Facebook pages and car group pages and car meetup pages. For instance, if that's your target market, posting it there and showing people, hey, check this out, look at this. That's going to give you the opportunity for people who want wheels done or small parts of their cars done to reach out to you. We're all not starting this with a lot of money. And even if we do, then that's great. But if you don't have a lot of money, you got to be able to figure out your low cost, your guerrilla marketing techniques, your low cost, high effective marketing techniques that don't cost you a lot of money. Really, that's all it is when drumming up business in the powder coating industry. If you do quality work and you show that quality work to people, people will either tell other people or they will use your service themselves if and when they need it. So if you want to build a portfolio, so to speak, let's think about a graphic designer who wants to get jobs for people. The graphic designer is not going to be able to get jobs and prove what kind of work they can do unless they have a portfolio. It's kind of the same thing with powder coating. And unless you can show previous jobs that you've done, it's very hard to get business for the next jobs. Now that kind of comes into the next segment I want to talk about a bit, and that is pricing your work. I think too many people worry about this from the get-go, and a lot of us, we've been known to shoot ourselves in the foot because we end up taking jobs and charging less than what we really would have charged for the job. But that is part of the learning experience, and the more experience that you have in handling different types of projects, the more you're going to understand what can come up and change time deadlines and such like that, so you know how to be able to charge people. But for instance, if you don't have pieces to powder coat, maybe you've got a bike frame and you've done your bike frame and a few small pieces on your car, maybe you've even done some wheels, for instance, on your own vehicle. You show those to other people. If you're really serious about starting your company, then one of the things that you should do for pricing is call the competition in your area. You don't have to call them and tell them that you're a powder coating company. You call them and tell them that you have a set of 18-inch wheels or 17-inch wheels or whatever it is, and you get their prices on it. Or you tell them you have a couple of different sizes. Get their prices on it. Check their website. Once you do the research to find out what your competition is charging, then you know the ballpark of what you should be charging. Now, everybody's business's costs are not the same, but here's one thing. If a company is charging $450, for instance, for a set of wheels, and they have a big facility, so they have high rents, they have lots of employees, and their daily costs of running their business is much higher than what yours is. Even if you offer your work at $50 cheaper, you are saving the customer money, and while you may be losing out on that $50 extra, it does not cost you as much to run your business as it costs them. So your profit is a little bit higher. Again, it's also about having that portfolio. So until you can have a portfolio and a stable of customers that are out there speaking your name about getting their parts done, you really shouldn't worry too much about costs, in my opinion. The reason for this is you want to make sure you recoup what you paid to put into the job, your powder, your material, okay, whether it's media or whatever. And of course, you want to get something back for your time, plus the electrical use and all that stuff. But if you take a hit on the money you get in return for your time starting out, you can really lower your prices. And I hope this is all making sense. You can really lower your prices. So for instance, if you take your first couple of wheel jobs at $300 instead of $400, while you may be losing $100, you're more apt to get a few more customers that are willing to pay $300. If you've got 2, 3, 4 customers that pay $300 for a set of wheels, once those wheels are done, you can take pictures, you can share them on your social media, which in turn can invite more customers to contact you. But you now have 2, 3, 4 people that are out there being your little marketing people. They're showing their wheels off, they're taking pictures and putting it on social media, and they're tagging you. You need those people, you need them. So when starting out, you have to look at the long-term value of that particular job. While you may reduce your price $100 for the full set of wheels, that person may bring you $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 in business over the next couple of months. It could be a year down the road. You want to kind of feel that out and decide, because when you're first starting out and first starting your business, the most important thing that you need to do, besides making sure that your work is good and your customers are satisfied, is you got to acquire those customers. And if that means that you take a hit on your price in return to build your portfolio and build your customer base, that's extremely important. Now, the times of starting up a business and having to pay for a bunch of marketing to get your name out there, those times are over. It's all about putting in the work, starting an Instagram, providing content on that Instagram, posting in Facebook Marketplace. It's a free place to post. Posting on Craigslist, again, a free place to post. I think Craigslist is getting away from the totally free. I think if you have a service or something, you might have to pay $5. But when you think about paying $5 for an ad on Craigslist, as opposed to, paying for a billboard or a commercial or anything that you would have had to do back in the day to be able to start drumming up any small amounts of business, the cost to acquire customers is a lot cheaper. So since the cost to acquire customers is a lot cheaper, you can pass that savings on to your customers. So once you get your target market identified, you need to start finding people basically that you can do work for at a discounted or even free cost. Contact your family and see if there's anything that you can do there. If you've never done wheels before, you'll get an idea of how long it will take you for wheels. It's really about planning. When starting your powder coating business, you don't have to throw a bunch of money out there. You can start by doing parts that are just small enough to fit in your little home oven, or even better, your even little toaster oven. Now when I mean home oven, I'm not talking about the one you cook food in. You cannot cook food in an oven that you powder coated with, okay? You just don't do that. But you can have something even as small as a little toaster oven and a little Eastwood dual voltage gun. And the reason I know that you can do this is because that's how I got the business started. As soon as I started producing pieces with that small gun and showing it to people, people turned around and asked, well, can you do wheels? Or what can you do the valve covers? Can you do this? Well, my oven is only this size, so I can only do pieces this big. Once I got to a point where I wanted to push myself, that's when we built the oven and really started going. I don't want to just blab on and on. This is a video part of a series, first video of a series on how to start your business, powder coating, or how to start a powder coating business. And I really hope that this has either got your mind going or maybe even stirred up some questions. Now, of course, there's still more videos in the series, but talking about the stuff that we had today, if you have any questions about what we went over today, please leave them down in the comments down below. We read all the comments, we reply to all the comments. We want to bring you value as well as entertainment here to the channel. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Also, if you are interested in possibly winning that Eastwood Hot Coat PCS 1000 machine that we're giving away, consider subscribing to the channel. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, we're randomly giving that system away by choosing a random video and a random comment in the video. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. As long as you're subscribed to the channel and you have all post notifications turned on, you'll have a chance at winning that system. If I stirred anything in your mind and brought up any questions, again, leave them down below. I want to be able to help you. This is the first video of the series. In the next video series, we're going to be talking about taking those first steps, doing those first projects, building a price sheet, and really getting into the marketing side of your business and what you can do to really give yourself a quick jump start when getting things going. Future videos, we're going to talk about and we're going to provide you with information and resources on where you can purchase your supplies, where you can purchase your powders. All of that's coming forward. So make sure you like this video and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.